What's up, guys? Your favorite player one, Richard here. I told you that I was going to try to start changing up my videos just a tad. And so we're going to do our very first filmed bourbon hunt. Now I'm out here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm kind of the outskirts at a location that is called Buster's East. I do have a particular bottle that I am hunting for. Hopefully they have it here. But we're going to go ahead and get inside. It is cold, and we'll see if we can't find a bottle. Here we go. So one of the first things that you will notice when you walk into Buster's East is just over to the right of the door are their store picks. Now, they have several things that many places in our area do, from Green River, Elijah Craig, those Angel's Envy. But the really cool bottle that they have here that I'm not seeing in too many other places is a rare character American light whiskey. It comes in at 140.74 proof, and I mean $150 to me doesn't really seem too bad, but that's not the bottle that we're looking for while we are here. Just a couple of their other store picks, some more rare character. I picked up my very first Old Forester single barrel from this exact Buster's. It was delicious. It was a little bit cheaper. I think it was like $99 or something like that when I purchased it. But still, 104 isn't too bad. If you are into Old Dominick, always pick up a single barrel straight wheat whiskey whenever you can. It is amazing. They also do other picks too. They have tequila and some other items as well. Now, one of the other things that I think is really cool about this store is in our area, we don't see a lot of Augusta, and they happen to have one of the only Augustas that I have seen in this area. So it comes to us at 122.7 proof, but the really cool thing, oh, and it's 10 years, is that they've collaborated with End Alzheimer's. So a portion of their sales ends up going towards ending Alzheimer's. Another cool thing that they have is this wall of whiskeys that are all featuring Tennessee whiskey. So we have places like Old Glory, Leaper's Folk, we have Chattanooga, Nelson Brothers. Of course, it wouldn't be Tennessee without Blue Note. And then as we start to get down here, there's just some other variations. Now, I'm really excited to see that they're carrying American single malt. Corsair is really good. That triple smoke is really, really good. And then if you aren't familiar with Minden Mill, they are coming out of Nevada, and they have some really cool stuff as well. Cruising right along, we have one of my favorite displays, which is the Wall of Old Dominick. Now, I apologize for the jitteriness of this video. This is my first bourbon hunt and first time using this gimbal, so it may kind of go awry. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that I am looking for a particular bottle. They posted on their social media that they had Uncle Nearest was out here, and I believe the CEO was out signing some bottles. And so I'm looking for that cognac finish. In Buster's video, they had shared that they have that cognac finish that was really highly anticipated and expected to be released by Uncle Nearest. Another neat section in this store is more of their exclusive bottles. Like they have this Wild Turkey Master's Keep, $300. It's actually one of the better prices in our area. I've been to several stores that seem to have that $300 price tag. They are one of the few stores that I've come across that actually has more than one of their rare character bottles that are out on display. We're starting to see more of that Heaven Hill grain to glass out in our area. And then, of course, there's some more of those exclusive tequilas that that are out here. So back to the wall of bourbon, and it is literally a wall. Um, we have your standard offerings that you would see from places like, of course, Jim Beam, your Basil Hayden, and what have you. They do have some really, they have a quite a large selection here, like Koval. That's a Chicago brand. Don't really see that in too many other stores in our area. And I realize that I'm probably going a little too fast, but like I said, still trying to get used to this whole filming bourbon hunt thing. Now, I mentioned earlier that they have some really neat bottles up at the top. They keep some of their more exclusive stuff. Not all, but there are several of the little books that were released this year, as well as some of the rare characters. An entire wall dedicated just to their makers. Now, one bottle that I see here that I'm really interested in is this New Riff malted rye. I don't know much. I have one New Riff at the house, but I don't really know much about that because it was a barrel select. So if you've ever had the malted rye, leave me a comment down below. Is that something that I need to try to pick up? Some more really interesting bottles. My brother just picked up for me the Redwood Empire Cask Strength bourbon. I haven't had a chance to really dive into it, but I heard that it's supposed to be good. Like I said, Wyoming, that is not something that we see too much of in our area, but we have the double cask Outrider and their small batch. Moving right along, Smoke Wagon. Again, there's that Augusta. There is another store that is in our area that I know has an Augusta pick, but it's not something that I'm really seeing in too many other places. So Uncle Nearest, here we have our selections. They have their rye, their 1856, 1888, and then their Nearest green offerings. I don't see that cognac finish that I was looking for. Perhaps it will be on their tasting bar. All the Willets, green tops, purple tops, various age statements and proof points. And then, of course, they are priced accordingly. Jack Daniels. Another one that I'm looking for, but I have not come across, is the Jack Daniels table syrup finish. Now, I know they have that at their distillery, but I have not come across it yet in my area, at least not in stores. We're going to move this little ladder here just so we can kind of see some of the other things. My wife would really like that. She is really into books and would love to have a library in our home. Hopefully one day we can do that. But I had the opportunity of getting to taste some of that Bardstown Ferrand. It was okay. Cognac finish. They're doing a lot of just interesting experimenting things over at Bardstown. Whole lineup of Penelope, that F Cancer. Don't sleep on that bottle. If you want a pre-made old fashioned, I highly recommend that you try that black walnut. That one is definitely my favorite. Green River. We'll move right along with our bottom row. 13 Colonies. That is really good. I got to pick up a cask strength not too long ago. It was really delicious. Oh boy. Sorry, guys. If I could find that cask strength again, I certainly will pick up a bottle. Whistle Pig, all the High Wests. I've never had a High West before. I've heard that this Burr Rye is supposed to be pretty good. And that price is what I've seen just across the board, no matter what liquor store I've been in. Buffalo Trace products. Now they do have a Sazerac pick. I believe that it's around $25. So it's not too bad for a pick. So is there anything that you have seen so far in our video that maybe you don't have in your area that you're interested in? Be sure to leave a comment down below. It's always interesting to get to see kind of just the distribution of things in different areas. That Wild Turkey 8-year 101 is pretty good. I'm about halfway through my bottle that I have at the house. So we're almost to the end of, whoopsie daisy. Oh, sorry. We're almost to the end of our the bourbon wall, but there are a couple other things that I want to take a look at. I did for my 40th birthday get to go to Kentucky and visit many of the distilleries. Now that I'm really into whiskey, there are some that I can't wait to go back and visit. But Woodford was one that I got to do an experience with. And you talk about just a really cool building. It is just phenomenal. Now, I wish I would have gotten to spend a little bit more time down there. I had no clue that when I was down for my birthday that it was actually close to Kentucky Derby time. So there was a lot of people there. All right. One thing that I'm really getting into, and we're not going to spend too much time here, is Scotch and Irish whiskey. They have quite the selection here, probably more than what I have seen in many stores. In fact, most stores that I've been into, at least in this area, have only been maybe like a couple of shelves. And of course, we have all the good stuff up at the top. Oops. One of the first scotches that I actually purchased was this Lagavulin. Sorry guys, making you sick. Is this Nick Offerman Lagavulin? So my wife and I are huge Parks and Recs fans, and so we were able to pick up a bottle of that in a closer store to us. And every time we watch Parks and Rec, that is one that we will pull out and just have a special pour. Now, if you see something, if you see anything that I should definitely be picking up as far as Scotch goes, it's something I really would like to explore, preferably something a little bit cheaper, with me just getting into Scotch. So cheaper price tag, better flavor profile. I like a little bit of smoke or peat, but not something too crazy. Y'all are never going to watch any of my videos again with how bad I'm using this particular device. Now, they do have quite the selection at their tasting bar. Obviously, with you being 21, you present them with your driver's license, and almost everything that they have as far as store picks go, as well as some of their more exclusive things, you can taste at the bar. They have, I think you can try up to 3 things. So more of their little books. So they have the 02, 03, and 04 of 2025. There aren't any price tags, but I would imagine if it's anything like their other offerings, oops, it's going to be probably closer to 125, around that price. So more Uncle Nearest Green. Those are signed bottles. I believe that the CEO or COO was out here doing an event. Oh, and then look here, more of those Bourbon County Stout beers. If you're looking for those and you're in the Memphis area, that Heaven Hill was really good, really smooth, light. The Cherries Jubilee was my favorite by far. And all these are pretty close to the prices that you will find in this area. Another signed bottle. And then, of course, we have these as well. If you are into cigars, they do have a cigar room here. I think it's called a humidor. You'll have to forgive me for my lack of knowledge. But one thing that I wanted to share are these popcorns from this company that is local here in Memphis, that is called Memphis Wolf River Popcorn. Sorry, I was reading that. A very smaller company, but they make some amazing just flavored popcorn. This one's actually my favorite. If you've ever had Garrett's popcorn from Chicago, it's a mix of caramel corn and cheddar. This one is more themed towards Memphis, so you have this barbecue dry rub cheddar popcorn and caramel. It is phenomenal. Now, I've not had any of these other ones, but I bet you they're good. So if you're in Buster's, definitely swing by and pick up some of these if you're into some flavored. All right, a not quite successful hunt. Unfortunately, I was not able to secure that Cognac finish. When I spoke with the manager, he had shared that the store only received 2 bottles yesterday and they sold both. So, but I am going to adopt a practice that I have seen several other YouTubers and bourbon hunters do, and I want to purchase something just as kind of a thank you to the store for letting me film. So I picked up this Woodford double oaked. I have several double oaked products at my house, and I want to do a little blind with them. So I figured I'd grab this bottle so that way I can film that video in the future. All right, well, this is a little bit longer than I expected, but you know what? With this being the first hunt video, it is a learning experience. So thank you for watching and sticking until the end. Please do all the things, like, subscribe, comment, and let me know, do you enjoy these types of videos? Would you like to see more in the future? All right, guys, I'm your favorite player one, Richard. Have a good one.